Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to Book Babble. So today I'm going to be doing a couple of tag videos. I'm going to do the Harry Potter Artifices tag and the Jennifer Lawrence book tag. The Harry Potter Artifices tag, I was tagged by The Reading Space, and this was created by Wolf's Whistle. Of course, all the links to everyone who tagged and created tags in this video are going to be down below. The first question is the one, what is a book with an interesting magic system? And I really enjoyed the magic system that was in The Iron Trial by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. I'm going to be 100% honest with you, I do not remember exactly how the magic system works, but it was really, really cool. I remember loving it a lot, and it was really interesting, and it was different than anything I'd ever read. Question number 2 is The Time Turner, a book with time travel, and I'm going to pick Ruby Red by Kirsten Gier. I loved that book so much. It was the first book that we read for the Once Upon a Read-Along last month, and I really, really enjoyed this. I cannot wait to read Sapphire Blue. If you didn't know, it is about, of course, a family of time travelers, and the main character travels back in time, and I just thought it was going to be about that, but it's a lot more intricate. It's got a lot more intrigue and drama in the story. Question number 3 is The Invisibility Cloak, a book about a missing person or object, and I couldn't remember a book that's specifically about a missing person or object right off the top of my head, but a book that came to mind that had a missing person in it was The Pilgrims of Rain, which is the 8th book in the Pendragon series by DJ McHale, and one of the main characters in the book, his dad, is missing, but he's been missing for many, many years, and it's not an exact, it's not the main point of the book, and it doesn't really add much to the plot or anything like that, but it's the only book that I can think of that had a character who was missing in the story. Question number 4 is Felix Felicia's The Good Luck Potion, is what is a book that was a lucky buy? And I don't feel like taking them out right now, but a book that was a lucky buy for me are these 4 Ellen Hopkins novels. The 3 of them, Cranked, Burned, and Identical, I got all at Goodwill for 99 cents, and then I picked up Tricks at my library's book sale for 99 cents. And those, I mean, for four books for $4, and 2 of them are hardcover. That is just a steal for me, and Ellen Hopkins is one of my new favorite authors. I love her so much, so I was really excited to pick those up. Question number 5 is The Marauder's Map, a book with the prettiest map, and I freaking love maps so much. If I had to, my favorite is probably the map from Kiss of Deception. The Remnant, I think it's like the area is called the Remnant or something like that. But the way that they did the map in the story was just so pretty. I love it. Not to mention it helps that the book is just freaking phenomenal. Question number 6 is Nosebleed Nougat, a book with a character so hot you thought it would give you a nosebleed, and I think this question's freaking hilarious. But the only thing that I can really think of is Guy from the Fire and Flood series, and he is just smoking hot. The way that he was described in the book, he is like exactly 100% my type, and I would swoon and have a nosebleed over him all day long. As my best friend Caitlin would say, I would drink his bathwater out of a straw. Question number 7 is The Mirror of Erised. What is a book that had an ending that you didn't necessarily want? And the only thing that I can think of is Salt and Stone, which is the sequel to Fire and Flood by Victoria Scott. I thought it was the 2nd book in a series, and now I'm hearing that it's not going to be a trilogy, it's just a duology, and I'm just like, no, Victoria Scott, no, because it just, if that is the last book in the series, I'm going to be really angry because there's like no talk of a 3rd book. I read somewhere that it's only going to be a duology. It's not a trilogy, and I just don't think I'll be able to deal with the ending of that 2nd book because it does not fulfill or answer any of the questions that this series had. Question number 8 is The Golden Snitch. What is a hidden gem of any genre? And I honestly think that The Pendragon is a seriously hidden, unrated gem of all books in young adult. I think it is a book that any person under the age of 25 would just love. It's got action and adventure and suspense, and you have no idea what's coming next. And every single book has just that wow and shock factor, and it is just absolutely amazing. I recommend the Pendragon series to anybody who enjoys reading. Now I'm going to do the Jennifer Lawrence book tag. I was tagged by The Book Hangover, and this was created by Michael the Book Lion. Of course, all those links will be below. Question number 1 is, growing up in Kentucky, what is your favorite book set in a rural area? And as a girl who grew up in the country in a lot of rural areas, my favorite is definitely going to have to be Beware the Wild by Natalie C. Parker. It really, really took me back to my childhood. Question number 2 is, discovered on the streets of New York, what is a book that you found while browsing and just ended up loving? I'm going to have to pass on this question because I get a lot of recommendations from friends and family and BookTube and Goodreads. I really just don't go and buy a book because it looks interesting. I don't know, I've just never been that type of person. I really need to hear about it from somebody else or read the back before I go and buy it. I've never really just browsed a bookstore and picked up a book just because it looks good. So I'm going to have to pass this question. Sorry. Question number 3 is, swearing off social media, what is a book you refuse to read? And I refuse to read Anna and the French Kiss, and that whole series. Contemporary is just not my thing, and I'm sure that it is a wonderful book, but it's just so overhyped for me. I just can't do it. I mean, not to mention that I just don't like contemporary that much at all, especially lovey-dovey romance type contemporary. Contemporary that deals with like hard subjects, kind of like what Ellen Hopkins writes, I really enjoy, but I just don't think I can do Anna and the French Kiss. Question number 4 is, beginnings on TV and into film, what is a book that gets better with each installment? And that absolutely has to be the Lunar Chronicles. I have not had a chance to read Cress yet, but Cinder was freaking amazing. Scarlet was just awesome. Fairest blew my freaking mind. I loved it, and each book gets better and better and better, and I just cannot wait to read Cress and Winter. Question number 5 is, the Oscar Trip, what is a book series that hit a snag? And that would have to be Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea by April Genevieve Chakotay. I read the first book, and I gave it like a 3.5, 4 out of 5 stars, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't my favorite book of all time, but the second book, Between the Spark and the Burn, I absolutely, completely, and totally loathed. I hated that book so much. Question number 6 is, JLaw and Chris Martin, what is your favorite book by a collaboration of authors? I really liked The Iron Trial by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. I also really enjoyed My True Love Gave to Me, edited by Stephanie Perkins, all by like those 12 authors. That was really good. I honestly think it's the only those are the only 2 books that I've read by, oh no, I read Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, which is by David Levithan and Rachel Cohen. Those are really good. I don't know, I haven't read a book that I didn't like by a collaboration of authors yet, so I don't think I could pick just one. Question number 7 is, her work with David O. Russell, a dysfunctional character that you can't help but love, and that has to be Alana from the Saga series. She's the main female character in that graphic novel series, and especially coming into like the 3rd and 4th volumes that I just read, she's getting pretty freaking dysfunctional, and she kind of needs to get her act together. But even though she's being kind of dysfunctional, I still love her to death. She's just one badass MFer, and I cannot wait to read more of the Saga series. Hopefully she gets her crap together. I liked her a lot more when she was less dysfunctional, but I still love her. Question number 8 is, Mystique, a villain who thinks they're doing right, and I'm going to have to pick Saint Dane from the Pendragon series by DJ McHale. He is one epic villain, but in book 10, all of his reasons for being a villain and what he's doing comes about, and it kind of makes sense. You know, you start to sympathize for him a little bit and understand what he does, but he's definitely an evil, epic villain, hands down, no matter what his reasonings were. But, you know, he did think that he had good intentions, and he did think he was doing the right thing. Question number 9 is, the Hunger Games' favorite high-profile series? That's got to be the Lunar Chronicles. Everyone's reading it, but I just can't help but love it as well, and definitely I'm just like fangirling with everybody else out there. The last question is everything Jennifer Lawrence has ever said, your favorite sarcastic or snarky character. And I hate repeating myself in tags, but I'm gonna have to say Tella from the Fire and Blood series. She's freaking hilarious. Alright guys, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to tag a couple of people down in the description, so check that. I still got to do some research on this. Sorry, I didn't come prepared to this video. But please, if you enjoyed this, comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.